Fat Joe, is he on an album run right now?
No, he put out an album this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then,
Haven't
yeah,
heard shit.
okay. So
We're like, really?
Man, hey, so much stuff be dropping.
Yeah.
That, like,
I know, but yeah.
I
it's
mean,
like-
Larry June dropped a couple singles.
dropped a
I
new
think.
video today.
Man, see, I can't keep up.
but it's
Yeah.
like, hey, you know,
DMX dropped the album.
yeah, it's like a
What?
collection of his prayers.
Ninth Wonder dropped a whole album.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that one.
There's a lot going on.
For fourth, you know, like
And I
fourth
feel
quarter
like-
used to be different, but yeah,
I feel like I pay attention, and sometimes it's like I can't keep up. So
yeah. You know, we'll just give him proper. Fat Joe's new album's called "The World Changed on Me."
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was recently. There's a interview. He sat down with the Breakfast Club. He said that artists are the most disloyal people you will ever meet. And it came from Charlamagne asking him if he would ever work with kind of a young artist in a particular sense. So let's play this and then let's talk about this a little
Would
bit.
you sign new artists now, Joe?
Sign. There we go.
I'm done. I'll put out
They both said you know back like, nah.
First of all, chances of an artist.
His no. Hold on. Let me play that again. His no.
Sign new artists now, Joe? They both said you know back like, nah.
First of all, chances of an artist now or anytime being loyal are close to none. Don't know if you know my story. I'm from the projects for real.
I know it.
From the real projects. So to have a miracle, God say, you're blessed. We're going to give you a chance. Look, you're famous now. And you say, you know what? I'm going to bring some people out the hood with me and I'm going to give them an opportunity. You give them a chance, then they become millionaires and immediately the cannons get like this. It goes from, yo, loyal, this for life, this, and the cannons go at you. They say, you know, I'm a boss now. I'm not talking about my experience. I'm talking about everybody's experience in hip hop. Moguls give hits away to artists that turned around and returned fire and said, yo, you never did nothing for me. You ain't this and that. So it's like, yo, you know, you think I'm dealing with that at this day and age? I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, I mean, he had a whole rap group, Terror Squad. Remember Cuban Link?
Yep.
Triple
Hated him.
Sace.
Yeah. He
Tony
literally,
Sunshine. I think Tony Sunshine. So run with him.
he probably do, but specifically Cuban Link
Yeah, he talked.
is the tarnished link in the chain.
Oh,
I see.
yeah.
Because
No
he
pun intended.
No pun intended. Wow.
Wow, no pun intended.
That's a triple entendre. That's a triple entendre.
Yeah.
But nah, he's the one that got on Relish from the Terror Squad image and, you know what I'm saying, the clout, and then decided to on him. So I mean, Fat Joe is, like he said, he's really from the streets. He was a stick-up kid. So he ain't really going for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know about just not with nobody, because I hate to say it, but having some youth around you is kind of like the Chang Tsung cheat code from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it is.
You got to have some kind of youth around you in order to kind of help keep you centered and hip to what's going on. And I think that's why Dre don't be wanting to rap, because he don't really do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to have some kind of youth around you. The youth helps keep you youthful and helps you keep you
Fresh.
in that game.
You're gonna do this hip hop,
Fresh.
then you do have to keep the youth.
You
around.
got
Yeah.
to. That's hip hop is the what newest form of music, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
I
why
mean,
Drake's still here.
Yeah.
Because like he just like Shang Tsung, he pulls the spirit out of the
I mean,
character.
you ain't got to take the whole spirit, but you got to have some of that energy on you. You know what I'm saying?
And they girls. I'm sorry.
So, do you agree with the sentiments here that, I mean, granted, Joe can do whatever he wants. Let's that aside, right? But do you agree with the sentiment of being somebody like Joe not being interested in putting anybody on in that aspect?
It's hard to want to continue to do this because I think he's very right about how people.
I feel like
Become-
I feel like he feels
He's
specifically
jaded.
tainted.
People- yeah.
Jaded, yeah.
Yeah, you feel jaded because, you know, regardless of how you feel about anyone you put on, you got to understand that, like, you know, if you put someone on, whether it's a joint venture or a production deal, you know, you're going to be dealing with somebody who, yes, you gave an opportunity, but you see their money and you get a piece of their money before they do. And that's not personal. That's just how.
That's business.
That's record. That's how after a certain point, look, as you know, I know this goes into the R&B world, but I remember I was hearing Nate Morris from Boyz II Men. You know, he was talking about, you know, the opportunity he got with Michael Bivins and how he's so grateful. But then he did say, you know, it's kind of crazy that Michael Bivins owns 50% of Boyz II Men's publishing. you know. And so at a certain point, you know, and that's not Michael Bivens doing bad business, you know. That's just
Good
what it is.
business.
That's good business. And so
And you got to do it to somebody else.
you got to, you know, everybody's, you know, if you sign the Slash big record company, production company, joint venture, you know, vanity deal, that means for every Slash, somebody's getting money before you.
It's a predatory business.
And, you know, you're going to start feeling some kind of way towards the person that you feel like put you on. And so, like, I feel like Fat Joe, what he's basically vocalizing here is like, I just rather not. It's just not worth it at this point, especially when nobody is buying or selling anything.
Experience,
yeah,
too.
and experience. Like, so Fat Joe's been out, what, since 93, 94?
And he actually, so Fat Joe put his career on the side because he wanted Pun to make it.
Right.
He seen something in Pun and pretty much brokered Pun's deal and just pretty much pushed him to the forefront.
You think
That's
they
why
had-
a lot of people think Pun came before him. He was out before, you know what I'm saying?
He had like
stuff
2
before that.
albums before. I remember the first time I heard Pun, he was still calling himself Big Punisher.
Yeah.
On the first 60 Minutes of Funkmaster Flex mixtape that was on Loud Records.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy's going to be a problem, you know. But Fat Joe introduced him to the game.
Yeah. But it can go, so the thing about it is, so I understand his position, but yeah, somebody like MC Search. I know people give Nas a hard time because of the Jay-Z line about
Searchlight Publishing.
Publishing. He actually hooked Nas up. So if you go look at the situation and how he ended up on Searchlight Publishing, Nas had a shitty record deal, and he talked to Search about it, and Search was like, well, your deal is whack. Search was signed to a similar deal and told his record label that Nas was signed to, like, hey, this is the same deal that I signed back in '88, and it's a shitty deal. They didn't want to switch it. So in turn, Nas signed his publishing to Searchlight, and that in turn made him, well, it puts MC Search in a position to make sure that his samples were clearing, all that stuff, yada yada yada. Not to get into too much of that, but somebody like that looked out for Nas's deal and made sure that he was eating and he was a millionaire when it first released, when Illmatic came out. Everybody's not like that, but in the same token, these artists think they're bigger than what they are. A lot of the newer people think they're bigger than what they are because they want a piece of it. They want to be that guy, but they don't know how to sit down and wait and actually see what happens and let it unfold. They just want it immediately without the work.
You know, as much as people talk about how greedy Jay-Z is, you know, at least for the U.S. release, when it was time to put out Is That Your Chick, they made that a Memphis Bleak record.
Yeah.
When anything, they wound up putting that, even though it was a Jay-Z song, they wound up putting it, I think, on Beanie Siegel's record.
It was.
And what's crazy is, like, if you got the European version of Volume 3, those were both Jay-Z records. But when you're talking about United States of America, much bigger marketing territory. And it's like, okay, let's go ahead and give this to Bleak so we can get him on, you know, the radio mix show and, you know, 106 in Park or whatever. And then let's do this for, even though anything didn't quite work. I think they thought they had a Hard Knock Life too. And it was just like, no, the moment has passed for that. But like, that's the kind of alley-oop sometimes, if you're the big dog, that you try to throw to the people you're trying to bring up. And there's more examples of that. I'm just thinking the two of the most obvious ones.
Yeah.
Do you think Pun and Fat Joe had issues before he passed? Because it's rumblings that they did.
All I've heard from is his kids and his wife that say things like that. Pun's not here to speak for himself, so I don't know. I never heard anything like that.
Yeah, me either. I don't know. The Fat Joe thing. I don't know if I supremely agree with the idea of. I feel like when you're in like a place, a good place, I don't want to say there's an obligation necessarily to put people on, but I kind of do feel like there's a little bit of an obligation when you're in a particular role to look out and to help people.
Pass the torch.
Yeah, pass the torch. Like if you're gonna be in said position, then do that. If you're gonna be this person that's here doing these things, then you should be actively doing that. Or you need to just remove yourself from the situation and give it to somebody else who is going to actively do those things. And that's how I've always approached all of this stuff that I've always done. And I just feel like that's just kind of the best way to move about it. Now, granted, I'm not Fat Joe, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, that's typically how I operate. And I don't know if I really agree with the idea of, like, I don't feel like it's somebody's I guess I would even take it a step further. I don't think it's somebody's obligation to be loyal to you just because
you gave him an opportunity.
Just because you gave them an opportunity. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like because I give them an opportunity that they owe me something. Like, I give people opportunities in the things that I do because I feel like they deserve them, and then they can take them and run with them. That's it. Like, I don't want. I don't know. I just kind of that kind of sits weird with me.
No, I feel you on that.
What's the reason why you did it? For you only did it for gain.
For sure.
Yeah. If you your heart wasn't really in it, you was doing it to get something out of it.
Yeah.
I think people feel a certain type of way if you want to discount what I did for you, and then all of a sudden I'm this bad guy.
Yeah.
Kind of like how the game in 50 Cent situation has always been weird to me because Game's album, the documentary, fire, but that could have been 50 Cent's second album. And he set you up. He set you up to win, and then for some odd reason, you went on a record, or not record, but a radio show, and start talking crazy about the situation. When you weren't, I mean, you're signed to 50, you signed to Dre, you're signed to Eminem. I mean, there's a whole pecking order of people that you signed to, and you're still put in a position to win. And you still talking greasy.
It's that exact thing that Jay Moore said, though. That's why I said 50 situation. That's who I was talking about, him in Game. When he mentioned, like, look, yeah, you signed to this artist. You got a production deal with this person. You got another person here. And all these people are seeing money before you. So I'm going to feel some type of way about you now. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you getting publishing because you wrote some of these songs. You know what I mean? So you seeing all this money. Of course, I'm getting the shine, but what's the shine when my kids need food? You know what I mean?
Do you want this album or not, though?
The album I already got, and I could do it again now.
Well, yeah.
Well, he didn't.
He didn't.
I mean,
he's got good album. I take that back. I'm not saying that he ended up being a terrible artist. He has good albums,
but he ain't got another.
He doesn't have another documentary.
No, not even close.
Jesus piece was really good.
I thought Doctor's Advocate was
good.
Was really solid. You know, considering like he went from having the backing of Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, and Eminem for him to still come out and have to do this whole thing on his own.
Was One Blood on Doctor's Advocate, or was that on Red?
That was Doctor's Advocate. Yeah.
So he came out swinging.
Yeah. So can't hate on it. Yeah, hate it or love it.
Okay. What about modern day? Do you guys think that this is? I mean, we've talked pretty much about, historically speaking. Do you think it's any better or worse nowadays as far as the loyalty and respects to these regards, or
there's less to go around now?
I mean,
like, okay, yeah, I put you on, but like the money's in the brand deals. I'm not giving you a piece of my, McDonald's or Macy's or whatever brand deal I got. I heard Busta Rhymes rhyming, I think maybe T-Mobile, Walmart. Yeah, Walmart. It's like, okay, Star don't see none of that money.
I guess I just can't. I just can't relate to that. Like, I can't relate to the idea of like the
big dog,
the scarcity mindset. When it comes to that.
Well, I don't think it's a thing too much no more, because I think the way the business models are set up now, you got to do it on your own before you can even get to that point where somebody else brings you in. So. Right. Like they got to see you doing it for yourself before they even think to align themselves with you. Yeah. So by then you already making the money. So what point does it make me what sense does it make for me to align myself with you where you taking money out of my pocket?
And then the only the situation that you have now, to your point, is as an artist, I'm able to do things outside of this record label. Like, so take like a Lil Yachty who was signed to Creative Control or whatnot. He's had deals with Target. He's had a pizza
Sprite
in the store, Sprite. He's had Nike,
Axe bodies, like body wash.
Yeah, so he's leveraging his celebrity and what he's built off of that past the music. So people have the opportunity now to look past the music and like, well, I kind of built myself up before I got here, but now I can use it for other things, because the label is only going to take music stuff from you. They're not going to take the endorsements that you get elsewhere.
If you're not a 360.
Yeah, but you're the 360, they want all that.
Unless you got like a crazy good 360 deal. And some people do. Drake is one of those individuals.
He's a fan.
I mean, but I just saw something where all these celebrities, they just don't make the money you think they make.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about how they might be broke, but comparatively speaking, hey, they're probably doing better than me.
Touche.